Hi guys, welcome back to ShoutingElectronics. This time on the Workbench we've got one of these LED Parcan style light fittings. It's not the shallow cheap Chinese ones. This one looks a bit better, it's more rugged. It's got a fan in it. If you look on the back, it's got DMX input and output pass through. It's got its display and it's got its little buttons. Decent grommet for the power cord and that. Let's switch it on and see why it's on the Workbench today. Now I don't know if you can hear that, the fan is spinning. So we got fan spin, that's good. But nothing. As dead as a dodo. So I think we are going to take this one apart. I'll switch it off first. I'm going to take it apart off camera just to speed things up. And then we can take a look inside how this thing works, or what makes it work, and what's making it not working at the moment. So let's go. Okay, so here's one I made earlier. I'm just kidding. This is the one that I've taken apart. As you can see, I've got all its little lens bits and the thing that holds all the lens bits in place over here. And let's take a look at the system itself. Okay, so let's start in at the LED array. So here we've got a lot of LED modules, LED chips. If we look underneath here, we've got a nice decent heatsink for it. A bit of dust on the heatsink. Got a huge fan. Inside here we've got our power supply. Mains in. Should be 24 volts out, because these fittings generally run on 24 volts for the LEDs. On the top here we've got a circuit board with a main microprocessor there, or microcontroller, sorry. You can see that is a MA803AS2 1525, try it again, 1525 GHCCA, and that's about all she wrote. Okay, so we got that. We got what should be, oh, I can leave this light on, that looks quite nice. This is a voltage regulator with a little choke and capacitor there. Then we got our transistors for the various channels, red, green, blue, white. Some smoothing capacitors and some inductors on the output. And small little drivers on each of those. Then we got our ribbon cable that comes across to our display board. And we've got these three cords, that's our DMX input and output. The DMX input and output is looped over there. So let's see what's happening. Let me just put the phone away for now. Hopefully it stops making a noise. Okay, so let's switch it on. And then watch out for all the live bits. Okay, so there we got our fan spinning in and nothing on the display. So I already said we should have 24 volts roundabout coming out of the power supply. Well, you can see we've got a green light on the power supply board. And we've got fan spin, it should be a 24 volt fan. So let's check over here. It's going to punch you out a bit, or down a bit. So you can see the board, hopefully I don't chop my fingers off here. Okay, so there we go, we're on volts DC. 200 volts range should be fine. And I'm going to test straight on the output of the power supply. Okay, 24.1. That's good. Okay. Okay, so you saw we got 24 volts coming out of the power supply. Let's take a look at the logic board. Okay, let's see if we're getting power coming in. This one screw is a bit raised, but let's check for power. I'm checking on the inputs there and I'm getting nothing, but I'm getting power out of the power supply. Let's check which core is giving us a hassle. So I'm going to join my negative probe onto the negative of the power supply, and I'm going to put my positive on the positive over here, so I should get 24 volts, and I am getting nothing. Let's try something. Hook on the positive of the power supply, negative here, 24.2. So it looks like the problem is I'm not getting any continuity through this red wire from the bottom terminal to the top terminal. Now I did say that the screw looks a bit loose. Let's just give it a tweak. And I don't know if you heard that arcing sound. And okay, even with the screw fairly tight, it was flickering on the screen there, as you can see. So let's just, should we do this live? Let's pull the wire out. Okay, I'm going to switch this off because I've seen this quite a few times. So I'm going to take both these wires out so I can show you what a common mistake is, okay? Let's take you in closer so you can look at these wires. Okay, I hope that's in focus there. What do you see? Do you see it's stripped rather short there, okay, on both those? And you can see the insulation's been damaged. So what they've done is, because they've stripped it short, they've gone and jammed it right into the terminal hole there. They've jammed it right into these terminal holes and screwed the screws down on the insulation. Okay? Now at some point this was working, so it must have just been touching on the tip of the wire or something. So it was just touching, and then eventually it just gave up the ghost and migrated a bit because the plastic went, and well, the plastic eventually was under so much strain it just migrated, and left the wire a bit loose in the terminal. And if you don't know if you can see this, okay, I don't know if you can see this, but I can see that there is arcing on the tip of this red wire, which means this red wire was just barely making contact. Barely. Now if I can find my cutters. Okay, now I cannot find my cutters. I'll just have to use this cheapy pair here. So I'm going to strip this insulation back. Twist it nicely. Now there's two schools of thought. One group says you must tin it, then it will work better in the connection and things like that in the terminal. Opposite side of the debate is, if you tin it, then you're making the wire hard and brittle, and it's going to wear out at that end there. So I think we're going to try to leave it as flexible as we can. So it has lasted long enough like that before. So let's, now you see just there means the insulation's not being crimped at all. It's going to be crimping straight down on the copper, which is the way it's meant to be. That's the way it's meant to be. Now, like I said, I've seen that in a few appliances and in distribution boards and terminals in machines and appliances and that. People go in, they crush down on the insulation. Okay, so now I have screwed that in. Let me just give this a little dusting while it's open. I'll give it a proper blowout later. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, power on. We've got display. So let me go auto 7, enter, and there we go. We got a lot of light. Let's blind you guys. Okay, so there we got red and blue. I think I'm blinding myself more than I'm blinding you. Red and green. Oh, that looks so Christmassy. Actually, I like that. Cool beans. Maybe I should cut that and use that as a thumbnail. That looks kind of funky. Anyway, let's go. Color 4 is all the whites, all the blues, all the greens, and all the reds. And sound activated mode, but okay. There we go. We have got a lot of bright light. Now you can't see it on the camera because the camera's got automatic gain, but I am seeing spots in my eyes at the moment. So let me put this thing back together, put these little lenses back on. Let's see what the lens does when I try to put it on like this. And if you can see, the lens is supposed to focus it a bit. Yeah, that's a red, and we go into a nice green there. Okay, let me put it back together, and I'll see you in a bit. Well, I'll see you in a bit if I can see, because at the moment I can't see. Okay, I did have a bit of a problem opening it. I don't know how it's stuck together there. So I did zoom out. So I did have to feed and force. This little round plate through there's little slots, or there's little seams there where the metal joins together. So I just forced it through there. Okay, so that part's through. Okay. How many more? How many more? How many more? One more. No, no, don't run away. Don't run away. I didn't mean it. Okay. I've got 5 screws for there. Let's drop this guy on. And just turn it around until everything lines up. Oh, that looks so nice, the way everything just goes up and aligned. Let's plug it in and should have light. Come on, adjust camera. If we shine it up the wall. Automatic gain's a funny thing. But there we go. That's working. I hope you enjoyed this video. Another quick repair. Probably took me more time to open this thing and close it than to actually fix the problem. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, click subscribe and click on the little bell icon, then you'll be notified whenever we get new videos uploaded to the channel. And thanks for watching.